So here we are in the wonderful world of Wonder Calibration Disc again, and I'm going to be doing a review of the Sony Bravia 9. Now this time I'm going to do it differently than how I've done it in the past, and that it's not going to be a straight up review of just one TV. I'm going to show you the TCL QM851G at the bottom. The reason I'm doing this is for two reasons. One, so you can see how something cheaper does better. And two, so you can see that you're not necessarily getting this whole game-changing experience on Sony like everyone else on YouTube is telling you. Again, you've probably seen this if you've seen my comparisons, but now we're going to talk about the review. I'll just go ahead and tell you this. It doesn't matter what it measures in peak brightness. It doesn't matter what it can do in terms of motion processing or anything. There is a problem with the Sony Bravia 9. It's just way too expensive. And that's the first issue. In this economy, you can pretend that you're Rockefeller all you want and price is no issue, but price is an object in this economy, okay? The second issue is that the colors are just off. We pause here, you can kind of see it's pale. And you just watch every single example that exists, and the Bravia 9 is just pale. That is the only way that you can describe the Bravia 9, not wonderfully colorful, not a step in the right direction, not game-changing, none of the stuff that you've likely heard from a lot of the people that love Sony. Now, what I will tell you is that, again, small bright highlights look great on the Bravia 9. The end. That's like literally like where you can stop counting your wins. I mean, you can get a win maybe towards motion. Motion is better than on any Sony in recent memory. That's a win. That's it. Your audio is bad. Your viewing angles aren't great either. I mean, I could go down the list of all the things wrong with the Sony and it would just sound like a bash fest, which I'm not here to do. I am here to tell you though that objectively speaking, if you look at the TCL and you look at the Sony, you know, even if you aren't a fan of TCL, you can see just how much picture quality it has for being $999 right now. I mean, pause right there. I mean, in terms of color hues, depth, saturation, all of it is a win on TCL. Sony, being the brighter TV for small highlights, means that you can get little things that you probably won't see on camera, like the side of the face being brighter or like the top of the helmet being brighter. But besides little tiny catch lights being brighter, that is basically it for you. It is not sharper than the TCL. I'm noticing a substantial amount of similarity between the two as far as depth and sharpness and clarity. So even though Sony's rocking their cognitive processor, blah, 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 everybody will tell you that it's amazing and you need to run out and buy one. Having them both here with zero reason to lie to you, I'm telling you right now, again, pause right here, the TCL is destroying the Sony in a massive way that I don't think anybody's ready to admit. And again, when price is a factor, we need to talk about that. Now, again, another aspect of this is when we talk about the gaming experience, the HDR experience. All of it was quite literally a miss on the Sony. The Sony, for whatever reason, is just this year two things. It's pale, inconsistent, inconvenient even. I mean, the fact that you have to sit there and switch between video mode, game mode, you know, just to get like good quality that works. Because if you're playing a video game, traditionally with Sony TVs, even on the Sony A95L even, it wasn't mandatory to switch to game mode to play a video game. On the Bravia 9, it is 100% mandatory because the input lag is so immensely high, it will literally feel like you have real-time lag because of how bad the processing is. I have never seen a TV do that. I have never seen anything so bad. Again, I can say that if you come from an old TV, then yeah, the Sony Bravia 9 will impress you because all it really touts is brightness. But I can also similarly say that on the market, there are better options and you're seeing it below the Sony Bravia 9 at the top. And the TCL is showing you better color, better expression, better detail, better everything for less money. And that's the part where I get really irritated. Now, again, people can see this review as mostly like me just saying that it's too expensive, but it is. And that's pretty much the big takeaway, outside of the fact that for gaming, it's abysmal. Don't do it. Buy almost anything else for gaming, because Sony is probably the worst gaming TV there is. There are people that swear that it's the best place to play PS5, and it's just not. You are running into so many inconveniences as far as just only 2 HDMI ports that support the HDMI 2.1. You have eARC port that freaking, it's just, I could really, I'm not gonna lie, I could go on for hours about what I don't like. But I don't really think it matters, right? If you want a Sony, you're gonna buy a Sony. And that's totally fine, and that's totally okay. But I will tell you that be careful, right? This is like a review / a PSA. Be very careful. You are going to watch a lot of the mainstream guys with a lot of people that follow them think that they're hot shit, and they will lie to you and tell you that the Bravia 9 is the best thing out for the mini LED market for bright rooms and sliced bread, and it's a fucking lie. You are better off buying the Hisense U8N. You are better off buying the TCL QM851G. You are better off buying the, S90D, the S95D, the S90C, the LG G4 even. Okay, and that was a washed out mess too, which is its own video. But at least it had 3D depth and clarity through the roof in spades that, again, the Sony could never touch. And this is the problem that I find with the Bravia 9. It's not particularly clear. Its shadow detail is just way too open, so it's very hazy pretty much all the time. This TV, for all intents and purposes, is garbage because of what it produces picture quality wise, and it's not very competitive on the market as far as what your options are. You can probably see it here. I hope you can, maybe you can't, but I'm doing everything I can to show you just what it's not doing. Because again, you're going to hear stories of its greatness and all that nonsense, but truth be told, in this scene in Pirates of the Caribbean, it's the clarity that comes through in the near black scenes on the Bravia 9 that's nice. But the TCL, are you really looking at a TV that's 3 times cheaper? Because look at the two images. There's a 3 times price disparity between the two. And I'm going to say right now, they are not 3 times apart. 3 times the price apart. They just are not. It's the same technology. And this is a very powerful review, in my opinion, because this is showing you that what you would have thought would be cheap Chinese garbage, a TCL, a brand that a lot of people are writing off, is beating a Bravia 9. Is maintaining position with a Bravia 9, a Sony flagship TV. This is the story here, folks. This is what you need to pay attention to. In 2024, you do not always get what you pay for. It's about quality. It's about the effort of the manufacturer and the attention to detail they put into making their product. Sony has a lot of influencers doing a lot of damage control and a lot of work for them to make you believe that they're still the brand that they used to be, before they started selling off Bio and other parts of their business, because people are starting to catch on that Sony products are just not great. I mean, hello, look at their X700 Blu-ray player. It's a 4K player that was total trash and everybody knew about it, but it's a Sony product. Their products are on the decline. Sony as a brand is on the decline as far as its quality. And what you're getting is literally on par with a quote unquote budget brand. You're seeing it right here through the lens to your phone, to wherever you're at. Let's pull Sony's line through the lens to the living room. You're seeing it. It's not really that great. And again, is it impressive in certain aspects of highlight detail? Yeah, until like something else pulls up, like a TV from literally 2018, like I whipped out literally my old Samsung from 2018, and it bodied this. My old 2018 Sony OLED bodied the Bravia 9. The Bravia 9 doesn't have a place in this market. And I'm just going to say that outright. I don't care who wants to clown me for it, who has an opinion about it. It has no place in this current consumer market because it serves no purpose. Nobody needs a $3,000 mini LED television. The point of mini LEDs, for anyone who is confused about this, is to break the barrier cost of OLED performance, cost to performance ratio, and give us the inky deep black levels that we would normally only find on an OLED at a fraction of the cost. That is the purpose of mini LED. That does not happen on the Bravia 9. You're paying the most high-end OLED prices, and you are getting a very terrible experience as a result. Again, Sony laziness and complacency. Again, the TV below, does it really look 3 times cheaper? Because it's 3 times cheaper. Does it look like that though? Everybody can say that, I've played with the Sony and made it look bad. And I've proven in real time, again, even with a lot of the Sony fans that love Sony TVs, it's about moving goalposts. You tell them one thing, they'll start moving the goalpost elsewhere. And then they'll start saying, you know what, it's not actually like that. I feel like now you should do this test or you should do that test. And we can go back and forth all day about what the Sony could have to look better. But when you keep having to go back to the drawing board to try to do something to help the Sony, the problem is just the Sony. And again, many of us already understand this. We already know this, which is fantastic. However, the point of this review is simply this. The Bravia 9 is one of those TVs that should not have happened. It is a television that is, in my personal opinion, a mistake and a blunder on Sony's name and destroys and tarnishes their image in the worst possible way. And they're going to do no short marketing to try to make you believe that the little highlight detail that you'll experience and like certain examples, like the scene when the window was just open there, I'll run it back so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. Because again, I give you tangible evidence of what I say. Okay, I'm in the Wonderful World of Wonder calibration disc, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and hit pause at 20 minutes and 33 seconds on chapter 19, okay? And in this scene, which is Monsters, Inc., you can see clearly the Bravia 9 has way better highlight detail and way better highlights in the curtains. That is all you are paying for. And OLED does it better. That's why I don't have patience for the Bravia 9. And I'll show you something too in real time. The TCL can do that. Don't mistake the fact that because I have an accurate calibration in here that the TCL can't do it. Because if I go to vivid mode, there you go. The TCL can do it too. Take a good look at that. Because see, where people were like, yeah, but the Bravia 9 has better highlights all the time. No, it doesn't. Unfortunately for TCL and fortunately, TCL did the literal thing that makes sense. They made their modes correspond to what they're actually supposed to do. So you need to use different picture presets if you want to get different looks out of the TCL. The Bravia 9 pretty much is like those picture presets are just blankets. They don't really mean anything. They don't behave differently processing wise. It's pretty much all the same. Where TCL is very different. They don't work that way. You have to understand that even certain features will become unlocked when you use certain modes that, again, that's not happening on the Sony. You're not getting anything extra on the Sony outside of maybe game mode where you get like the game bar. But outside of that, it's pretty much the same. Again, TCL not doing that. You're seeing here in real time, highlight detail can be very similar. Very, very similar. And I show this off not to bag on the Sony or not to put down the Sony or anything like that, but to show you that, again, this TV at the bottom is 3 times cheaper. It has the same highlight detail. I mean, it has better color. It has better everything. And I don't understand the position that I've seen on the Bravia 9 from Artings, Digital Trends, HDTV Test, you name them all. Everyone that we know does TV reviews. It has all been the same. Now, I will also say that I'm not standing up here saying that they're all wrong and I am the only one right and the only one capable of making a television review. What I am saying is the Bravia 9 is trash and it is garbage, and there are ways you can check that yourself, right? And you are even seeing it in their own videos where it appears washed and not as great. You're seeing that. And the fact that they're not reporting that as the truth that it is, that's kind of unfortunate, but there's a reason for that too, because again, YouTube is about money and everybody wants to make affiliate marketing commissions. Everybody has their hand out for free units to continue making their YouTube videos so they can continue to bring in more followers and grow their audience. It's all about business. And what you're seeing isn't so much as, me being the only right person so much as me being the only person walking away from business deals after building a following. That's the truth. And again, a lot of people in 2024 don't like the truth. The truth is uncomfortable. People hate the truth, all that good jazz, which is fine. You can hate the truth, but you're seeing it here. Look at this scene. Look at it on the Bravia 9. Look at the colors just radiating off of the TCL in a way that the Sony just isn't doing. TCL is the mini LED TV this year to get. I'm just going to throw that out there for everybody who's maybe even remotely confused about it. They have what everybody is looking for on the mini LED side of things. Price to value ratio, phenomenal sound that Sony can't compete with, beautiful anti-glare, but also a very nice build quality. Again, you can go down the list of gaming features, even picture options and features. It's fantastic. And Sony is just kind of like an if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of vibe. And it's going on and on for years and years. And that's the problem with the Sony. And it is for that reason that the Bravia 9 is just something that doesn't belong on the market, in my opinion, because the X93L could have just very well been ported back over and sold again for the kind of crap that we have here. Because honestly speaking, I liked the X93L a lot better than I liked the Bravia 9. The Bravia 9 just, it's redundant, just low quality, low tier shit that we don't need on the market. We need high quality flagships like the A95L. We should have had the Bravia 9B, the A95L successor. QD OLED, all the bells and whistles, and a picture to absolutely die for. But that didn't happen this year because people are apologizing for Sony versus holding them accountable to produce TVs worth a damn. Now I'll go back into my calibrated mode again, and you can see again, it has detail in spades. So whether you want brightness or you want detail, the TCL can do it all just like the Sony can. And it's $1,000, literally 3 times cheaper. And that, for me, is why in this review, I'm going to say the Sony Bravia 9 is highly unrecommended. I don't recommend it at all. I think you are wasting your money. I think if you buy the Bravia 9, you've made a massive mistake. You're going to see this TV age faster than probably any TV in recent memory because it comes out of the gate with pale, washed out color. In an age where TVs are supposed to get more vibrant, more highlight rich, more contrast rich, and we are not getting the step up we deserve on the Bravia 9 for not only the weight that this thing has, but also the heat that it generates, because it is a heat cannon. Your room will get very hot with the Bravia 9. I could go on all day about what's wrong with the TV, but I hope that in these examples you're seeing with a TV beneath it that's 3 times cheaper, you can truly understand the Bravia 9 just doesn't make sense in 2024. And if you don't, buy the Bravia 9. I hope you enjoy it. Who knows? Maybe you might actually enjoy it. Don't compare it to anything else, because by itself, it might fool you. You might think it's a great TV, but the moment you compare it to something in its price range, you'll realize that every word I spoke here in this review is true. Thanks for watching the #1 brand in honesty, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later.